Santiago. Death Blade. Sidewinder. Hot damn. Lunchtime is over. Boom, did it. Had it both ways. No regrets. Brooklyn.
What's up, everyone? It's Adam from FWCI. This is the Brooklyn Nine-Nine Season 2 Wrap-Up. This has been a hell of a season. I can see why people were saying that this show seems to escalate as it goes on, because a lot of evolution with certain characters throughout Season 2, which I'm going to talk about later on. Tomorrow, I'm starting Brooklyn Nine-Nine Week to kick off Season 3, so I'm going to be uploading an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine every single day for the next week. So if you like Season 3 and there's some bangers coming up in the first 7 episodes, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out, because those are going up really soon, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of my Brooklyn Nine-Nine reactions. But the plan for this wrap-up video is to watch a couple of bloopers from Season 2, which I love bloopers. I mean, who the hell doesn't? Then we'll talk about the top 3 cold opens, my top 3 characters, then we'll do a top 3 of my favorite character, and then we'll wrap it up at the end with the top 3 episodes of Season 2. Before we get into all the lists, congratulations to Libby, who is the winner of the Brooklyn Nine-Nine Super Thanks t-shirt giveaway. I'll be sending you a Brooklyn Nine-Nine t-shirt and some other little knickknacks here and there. Thanks to everybody who left a super thanks as well. Congratulations, Libby. But let's get into Brooklyn Nine-Nine's bloopers from Season 2. My favorite one from the Season 1 bloopers. It's probably when, I think it's Peralta throws something at this guy's back. He's like an extra or like a guest character. And the dude just takes forever to turn around. And as soon as he turns around, he realizes, oh my god, that looks so stupid, and he's already gone. So that was my favorite blooper from last season. Let's check out the Season 2.
Let's go as Bone Bros.
Oh, she get him?
Oh, you go with it!
It was so hard. I felt bad.
Oh my god, you had to go with that! It was all for naught!
Whoa. So how hard did she hit
Let's
him?
go as Bone Bros.
Oh, that wasn't that hard.
Oh, you go with
It
it!
was so hard. I felt bad.
Oh my god, you
Linetti.
had to go with that! It was all for naught!
It's a solid it was an okay slap. She certainly made contact. Oh, I love that moment. Not that one. This is a very interesting little intro.
Forget what you thought you knew about the script, because we're having fun. Hello, District Attorney Kerm. Hello, District Attorney Kerm. Someone else say it. Someone else say District Attorney Kerm fast.
District Attorney Kerm. Hello, District Attorney Kerm. It's harder to do it when you're like doing this with your head.
Someone else say it. Someone else say District Attorney Kerm fast.
You are the boss. Balls?
You said the J-words.
Yeah, Chiba.
Evidential like it.
I will never get used to Rose's regular voice. I don't want to watch an interview in case I see something that is from future seasons, but I'm dying to see an interview with Stephanie Beretz. If you've got a good 5-10 minute interview of her, but from the first season before any stuff transpires in the later seasons, let me know, because I will definitely do a reaction to that.
Chiba.
Evidential like it.
I think that's usable.
Just trying to get the meal cut.
Check the gate.
Do you have any idea how long I've been waiting for one of you old men to kiss me?
Dude, that old man planted that on him with authority.
Kiss me.
Give it. Gives him a nod after.
You're good, Jake. You're good.
It's Charles.
Wait, hit the button! Hit the button!
Come on, you guys. I expect more of you.
Here we go. No fun at all.
There's definitely something in there. Looks like a peanut.
You're right. It's a cashew.
Claire Underwood be...
Oh my god, wait a minute. That's how they... Because they didn't do that in the episode, did they? I was wondering, I was like, how are you going to figure out if it's a cashew or a peanut? Are you going to fucking eat it? Apparently so.
Would be a good spokesperson for a floating casino.
Is there a course at Juilliard for the giggles?
They look so fucking hilarious in matching robes there, but like it must be so difficult to make these shows. Like just being in these bizarre situations with these hilarious looking people wearing these insane fucking outfits.
I said it though.
You did. You got all the words.
It's crazy.
What's up, bitch?
Damn it.
I can do this. You can do this, Broward.
Deathblade. Sidewinder. Alright. This is not as bloopery as I was hoping, I will say. What are we watching with that? Some of that looked like it was from season 1, by the way.
Yes, that's a cut.
Did we get it?
That was it.
And cut. Great, that was really good. All right, let's do
Yes.
one more.
Is that the right read?
It's pretty good. This time do less Phantom, more Les Mis. Do you know what I mean?
More Les Mis, right?
Yeah. Okay. Not a doctor.
Fremulon.
Alright, that was honestly not the best outtakes blooper roll that I've ever seen. Felt like more of a sizzle reel of like moments and like just behind the scenes more than anything else. But there was still some gems in there. I love seeing Hitchcock and Holt share a laugh. That was like a weird kind of jarring thing to see, considering what Hitchcock is like in the actual series. Again, all these actors play such strong characters. I'm so curious to see interviews of them out of character. So yeah, if there's any that you know won't spoil stuff that's coming up, let me know some interviews for Brooklyn characters, and I might start doing them at the end of these reactions or something like that. But let's jump into the top 3 countdowns. Let's start with the cold opens. The Brooklyn Nine-Nine cold opens are kind of historic in a way. I feel like they're a big part of the show. They're certainly a big part of the fan base. I know we've still got some really epic ones to get to. I think somebody said in season 6 there's a cold open that fucking goes pretty hard. But the number 3 cold open on my countdown list,
9:01. Amy Santiago is officially late for the first time ever.
I love the premise that Santiago is late for the first time, you know, and I love that Jake kind of busts her balls about it and that everybody is interested, because, you know, she's such a goody two-shoes, and hearing that she's late and nobody knows why, and that's such a, you know, topic of conversation. Even Holt gets in on the whole fucking situation, and when he pressures her to like admit at the end where she was just so he could participate in the game, that was a fantastic moment for Captain Holt.
This is fun.
And Santiago, again, Melissa Fumero is still my personal favorite character. Holt is fucking amazing.
Hot damn!
Santiago, I really get that character, and not that I'm like, you know, Mr. On Time everywhere all the time, but I just love how strong of a character that is, and this just was a perfect representation of that, which is why it's number 3 on the list. But let's talk about number 2, which is...
We missed Scully's birthday, and it was a big one.
The cold open to episode 8, Scully's birthday, that everybody missed. This was so unexpected. I got completely taken along for the ride that everybody did genuinely miss Scully's birthday. The reveal at the end that it was all just a big plan to get money out of them. They are grifters. Scully and Hitchcock are grifters, and I hope we get more of them grifting, and I hope we get more conflict between them and other people, because they are so... There's so much untapped potential for those characters, and I hope they're a bigger part of the series moving forward. Kind of like how I guess Creed became a much bigger part of The Office in the future seasons. Scully and Hitchcock, I hope, become more prominent characters moving forward. And my number 1 cold open for season 2, I'm very predictable. This shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody, but we all know it.
Lunchtime is over.
The feud between Wunsch and Holt is fastly becoming one of my favorite parts of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Just the type of insults they say to each other. It's almost very, like Monty Burns-esque. Very Mr. Burns-like in terms of, like, just the phrasing that they use and how particular their language is and stuff like that. I love a good articulated argument like that. Lunchtime is over was just the perfect line for Holt to say. And again, Holt is not that good at comedy, it appears, in terms of the character that they're building. He stayed up all night thinking of Lunchtime is over, and even Rosa like gives him a little bit of shit about it. So the fact that Holt decides to take the high road and the low road, and then he's so elated by this decision, it's one of my favorite moments of all of season 2, and that's why it's in the new intro as well. I had to give it the prominent spot, and that's why it's number 1 on the list of my cold opens for season 2. Let me know in the comments, what was your favorite cold open of season 2? Was it Lunchtime is over, or Scully's birthday, or something else entirely? Keen to hear what you guys have to say. Did I miss one of the epic ones that everybody loves? I don't know, I have kind of weird taste sometimes. So now we're going to talk about my top 3 characters from overall season 2, and this list was really hard to do. There was a couple of characters that deserve to be on this list that aren't, and there's some characters I thought would stay on this list and did not. So let's start with number 3, my third favorite character overall, Amy Santiago.
What on? Oh, yeah! Yes!
This may come as a bit of a surprise because Santiago took a little bit of a back seat from time to time throughout this season. Obviously, there was still the very will they, won't they aspect between her and Jake, which, you know, sometimes was brought up and then it was kind of put on the back burner a bit. But she still had plenty of highlights throughout season 2. I mean, we got to meet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drink Amy in the beach house episode, which I'm sure we're going to see more of all of those versions of Amy in the future. We got her eating the Chinese food in the Jimmy Jab games. The visual of that is something I just can never unsee. And of course, she gave us the most badass notebook flip in all of television history. Santiago is my personal favorite character still, and even though she didn't do a great deal of evolving or developing throughout this season, her relationship with Jake is getting closer, and I'm really excited to see what relationship Santiago looks like and how that's going to play out with Jake and just how different their personalities truly are. Even though they're in love, and I ship them all the way, they're very different people, and that's going to be a tough journey for both of them. So I'm keen for that. In season 1, she was actually my number 1 ranked favorite character, and Rosa was in the number 3 spot. But sadly, there's no Rosa on this list because in the number 2 spot is Gina.
Do you know how many basic bitches would kill to have the same personality as me?
Gina may be the character that's evolved the most since the pilot episode. I thought in season 1 she was a little bit brutal, but she was a main character in season 2, and she had a bit more of a moral line in this season, it felt like. But whether she's defending her bitch ways to Terry, tormenting Amy all throughout the season, to be completely honest, or just spending a lot of time in her happy place.
So like Tyrese, the land of Tyrese's.
Sure.
Gina seems to be way more blunt and honest now compared to being blunt and mean in the last season. So I think it's a good move for that character moving forward, and I think it opens up a lot more potential with her to interact with more of the business related stuff and be more of a character that has a bit of impact. So Gina is welcomed into the top 3 list for the first time. Yeah, I really wasn't a huge fan of her in season 1, and she's come along. There were people, I think, that commented early on, they're like, oh man, you're gonna love Gina as the series goes on. They were clearly right, because she's number 2 on the list, but that can mean the number 1 slot can only be one man, and that man is Captain Raymond Holt.
What? No. What? No. What? No.
Holt has grown so much in this past season, and we've been taken on these little like tangents into his very boring life, which have just been unbelievably, maybe morbidly fascinating and hilarious the entire time. We've seen his juvenile side, we've seen him in a social panic with Rosa when she thought that she was pregnant. He's been disarmed a lot since season 1, to be completely honest, and because Andre Brewer is so sincere and professional and consistent with his deadpan delivery, it seems to just add more to the character when he's doing these more ridiculous kind of things like he has in season 2. So if this was done with a different actor, I don't know if it would have had the same success. But let's have a look at my top 3 moments of Captain Holt from season 2. Man, he was on fire this whole season. Like, he was the highlight of almost every single episode. He had all the funniest lines. Like I say, they brought him out of his shell. Let's start off with the Holt countdown. Number 3.
So you can keep your box of deception and leave me alone.
It's a box of shapes, and it contains only the truth.
Gina and Holt's little cerebral joust over Holt's personality test results culminates in this beautiful moment where characters, storyline, script, everything just seems to meld in the most harmonious fucking way you can imagine. The peak of this story is the confrontation in the lunchroom where Holt tries to trick Gina with a box containing 2 different shaped snacks, and when Gina realizes what's going on, we are treated to one of my favorite exchanges in all of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Gina, you know I appreciate you, but you have to admit, we're not exactly cut from the same cloth.
Apparently not. I, of course, am exotic silk, whereas you, sir, are snake skin. So you can keep your box of deception and leave me alone.
It's a box of shapes, and it contains only the truth.
But my second favorite Captain Holt moment from season 2?
Deathblade, Sidewinder, it's go time.
Roger that, wet blanket.
No, from now on, call me Velvet Thunder.
Okay.
I think a lot of people expected this to be in the number 1 slot, and we'll get to the number 1 slot, don't worry. But Velvet Thunder was the my wife was murdered by a man in a yellow sweater moment for this season. Like, when you look at that episode, Holt had never really participated in Peralta's shenanigans. And then when he finally goes up there and he drops that line in the middle of all this chaos, and you see him just, you know, even bringing up the details of the yellow sweater and everything like that, it was just such a startling moment that Holt, suddenly was that into that kind of thing. Fast forward to season 2, and we got a similar vibe with Holt being very distracted by Madeline Wunsch, very paranoid about her, not on his game, not focused or anything like that. But Holt's final revelation causes him to snap into action almost immediately and embrace the code names of Deathblade and Sidewinder that Jake gave to himself and to Boyle. Then Captain Holt dubs himself with gravitas, ponderance, and austerity.
Velvet Thunder.
And my favorite Captain Holt moment from Brooklyn Nine-Nine Season 2 is this.
Lunchtime is over. Boom, did it! Had it both ways. No regrets.
So I mentioned earlier about Holt showing a lot of his immature side in season 2. I don't know if any scene quite captures that like the cold open from episode 11, but since it's already topped the cold open list as well, I can't just show the same clip again. Can I just say that any interaction between Wunsch and Holt is just endlessly entertaining. It's like watching 2 children that have a decades-long feud and the vocabulary of Stephen A. Smith just bickering and needling each other non-stop. But as season 3 kicks off, we know for a fact that Wunsch time is definitely not over, and I'm keen for more Holt v. Wunsch showdowns in the future seasons. Now let's have a chat about my top 3 episodes of season 2. I feel like this is going to be not controversial. I mean, we're talking about, episodes of a TV show. Nothing's controversial. But I don't know if everyone's going to agree with my top list. Give me your top 3 lists in the comments as well. I might even put a post down there or something like that. Let's talk about my number 3 episode, which is The Beach House.
I'm playing Quasi Cupcakes. I'm hydrated as hell, and I'm listening to Sheryl Crow. I've got my own party going on.
I think they did the awkwardness with Holt perfectly. I think Vacation Terry is a sight to behold, and of course the introduction of Six Drink Amy with a little side dish of Gina being a very nice friend was a really nice touch to this episode. We had Boyle playing the gal pal to the romantically inept Rosa while she's texting with Marcus throughout the party, which was a very sweet moment considering the history between Boyle and Rosa. I especially like the ending where the team gets to play fake Ray or real Ray. It's just some good quality Holt quotes at the end of that.
The futility of lighting candles only to blow them out immediately is just one reason I find children's birthday parties impractical. Any smile that lasts longer than a second and a half is a con man's ruse.
A lot of great character building across the board in this one, even for Scully and Hitchcock with their amazing plan to, what was it, find a sunken ship, bring it up, and then make a floating casino, I believe was something along those lines. Loved this episode so much. The honorable mentions for the top 3 episodes are the Chopper episode and Windbreaker City. So they're the episodes that almost made the cut, and very much, honestly, ask me on a different day, maybe they do. But that's my 3rd favorite episode, The Beach House. Number 2 on the countdown can be summed up in one word, and that word is Halloween.
It's Halloween! Halloween!
Well, gotta do something for 16 blocks. Halloween! Halloween!
This episode got off to a really hot start with Peralta and Holt, you know, doing the whole challenge at the beginning and everything like that. But then the middle of the episode is actually quite tepid. And the reason for that is because it's all a big setup for the reveal in the 3rd act, which really connected with me. I just thought this episode was fucking amazing. The ongoing Holt versus Jake feud is one of my favorite running gags in the show. I'm so keen for Halloween number 3. 3 doesn't rhyme with ween or keen, that's fine. Holt's admission at the end that he'd been planning the ruse for the last 12 months was maybe the most Holt thing ever now that I've seen the end of season 2 and I know what he's like. It is astoundingly specific what he did to Peralta to embarrass him in front of his peers, which, again, great way to connect with Peralta because he was all in on this entire experience. The final scene, though, where Holt is revealing everything, could be my favorite ending to any TV episode of anything ever. Andre Brewer and Andy Samberg were both on their A game this entire scene. The script was absolutely perfect, and for all those reasons, and a whole bunch more because the episode was absolutely stacked, it is my number 2 episode of season 2, which means the number 1 episode from Brooklyn Nine-Nine Season 2.
Jimmy Jabs.
The first Jimmy Jab games were held in 2003 when the King of Iraq,
President Iran,
Armin Jimmy Jab,
Ahmadinejad,
came to New York, and the Brooklyn Nine-Nine precinct was on call for 9 glorious hours due to a protest. Everything about this episode was hilarious. We get to see the adorably competitive Amy Santiago in full flight. Oh my god, awkward dances and everything. She was spectacular throughout this episode. Captain Holt and Terry have some epic confrontations with Wunsch in this episode, and I love that this is where the seeds were planted for the Wunsch time is over line. It still makes me laugh. Wunsch time is over. Like Holt with the bell going off in his head. Wunsch sounds like lunch. I love the long-term storytelling in terms of Holt just trying to get one over on Madeline Wunsch at any particular opportunity. It's always great. And again, this episode was very dense with good moments. I mean, we had the whole storyline with Hitchcock wanting Boyle to make him look cool in front of everyone, which was just amazing.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, Charles.
Who's this with me?
Hitchcock?
Well, we should go now.
Rosa got named the leader of the Giggle Pig Task Force in this episode as well, which was something that I wanted to see more of, her being in the leadership role, so that was great for me as well. But the Jimmy Jab games themselves were just a sight to behold. I love the fact that the reward was just a shitty office chair. I like that Scully had to withdraw due to food poisoning, and Amy's attempt to pass herself off as pregnant really made me laugh. I don't know what it was. It just seems to be like top shelf Melissa Fumero comedy. But the delivery on that whole thing was just, you know, chef kiss.
He's kicking so much. You want to feel? No, that's a bad idea! Oh, my baby! It's on the side!
But on top of all that, we got some serious progress in the Jake and Amy love story with some really genuine moments in this episode and some, you know, cute flirting moments between the two. So I really liked that as well because I've been enjoying their journey, getting closer with each other. But my favorite moment of this episode has to be the exchange between Holt and Wunsch.
That's funny. After 20 years, I think you'd be used to me slam dunking in your face.
You better make some big arrests and quick, or you'll be the poster boy for departmental waste. Slam dunk. Returned.
Not if we make those arrests. 3-point dunk.
You guys really don't know enough about basketball to be doing this.
Jimmy Jab Games was so dense in comedy, and that's why it's my favorite episode of Season 2. Thank you guys for checking out this Season 2 wrap-up. I appreciate all the support, everyone. I've got tons of other stuff up on the channel if you didn't already know. Harry Potter's been doing really great. Young Chuck Norris, please, I beg you, go watch that reaction because Andy Samberg is in, I talk about A-grade Melissa Fumero or whatever before. A-grade Andy Samberg is his SNL days from what I can see on this Chuck Norris video. So much fun. I laughed, probably top 3 hardest I've ever laughed on this channel on that video. So I recommend that one a lot. You can leave a super thanks down in the comments as well if you want to support the channel a little bit further. And as always, everyone, be well, stay safe, look after your friends. See you in the next video. Peace.